Welcome to Rethink Weight Loss. It's a 14-day challenge where we're learning to shift our mindset so that we can really eat healthy. We can really embark on a successful healthy eating and weight loss journey. Changing our mindsets can really make all the difference. So today is day 8 of our 14-day challenge, and I love how you're experiencing sort of the recognizing the limiting beliefs and mindsets that have been holding you back and tripping you up in previous weight loss attempts. And I love how you're working at loosening to transform them. I'm Dr. Ginny, and I love to help people become slender for good in a healthy and sustainable way. Because becoming slender and then gaining the weight back, I mean, that has happened to so many of us, and it's so painful. I mean, when you get to that slender weight and you feel so comfortable in those clothes and your body moves easier, you feel like I'm never going back again. I'm never going to let that happen again. Getting a pop-up on my computer, and like just address that. And then all of a sudden you're just gaining the weight back, and it feels like an out of control thing, and it's just miserable. It feels terrible. So we want to do this in a way that's really sustainable, and we want to do it in a healthy way. I sometimes have people get in touch with me and say, you know, I want to lose 20 pounds for this wedding that's next month. And I really don't usually work with those people because I guess there's other ways to do that kind of quick weight loss. What I'm interested in is helping you get healthier, helping you eat in a way that gets you healthier and allows you to also release the excess weight. Both of those matter, and they're very related to each other, but they aren't exactly the same thing. So I'm really working on helping you with both. So you're really working to make healthy eating a happy habit, and that makes a huge difference in life, and changing your mindsets really helps you do that. So yesterday we talked about the mindset of I deserve this, which often gets attached to eating sugary treats or salty, crunchy treats or fattening, food-like substances. And so it's like, I deserve this treat. What we really are working on is getting a lot more clear what we deserve in life, that we deserve a full, rich life, an active life. We deserve to feel great about ourselves and about our lives, and to be able to do the things that we want to be able to do. You know, when I go to Pilates, lately that hasn't been very much. I love to do Pilates, but there's a Joseph Pilates quote on the wall that says something like, we're aging too fast, we're retiring too early and aging way too fast. We should be healthy and vibrant well into our 90s. And so I've kind of embraced that. I think he's right. And so I've taken that on, and instead of, you know, heading towards 60 this year, feeling like, oh, my life is going down, I feel like I have plenty. I have decades of vibrant life ahead of me. Now, you know, could get hit by a truck later today. Don't know. And the way that we've been eating in our culture means that I could be more likely than if I weren't eating in this culture, if I were eating in a more traditional culture. We're more likely to develop the diseases of diabetes, cancer, and heart disease. But looks like I'm doing pretty well at this point. I've really turned around the risk for So we do need to eat foods that we enjoy, but we don't need to be constantly giving into this eating craveable snack foods that cause us to overeat and gain excess weight, and that really, really take our health down. So if you didn't see the video from yesterday, I encourage you to go back and watch it, because this I deserve this mindset is one that really tends to defeat our weight loss. So what are some answers for you? I don't know if anybody's here today. I can't see anybody on the live feed, but I can never see people who aren't my Facebook friends. So if anybody's in there today, please comment. Let me know what's going on. What are some answers for you to the question to what you truly deserve in life? I hope that you take at least a few minutes thinking about, what do I truly deserve in life? So that when you get that thought, I deserve this treat, you can counter it with, I deserve a full, healthy, happy life. That's what I deserve. Not this little treat that's going to take that away from me. All right, so what are we going to talk about today? Let me see what my notes say. Oh yeah. I want to talk to you a bit more about how to strengthen your emotional intelligence, so that that can really strengthen your ability to eat in the way you intend, to eat healthy, and to achieve, you know, really great weight and a great energy and all those things that you want from eating healthy and releasing excess weight. So some of the benefits of building higher emotional intelligence, I'm sure you've heard this concept before. There's a lot of research on it, especially in the workplace. But some of the benefits that we find when people have higher emotional intelligence is that they can communicate better. It helps them reduce stress and anxiety. It helps them build better relationships and better to diffuse conflicts. So when you have better emotional intelligence, you come into a conflict situation and you're better able to diffuse it rather than escalate it. Instead of getting triggered and just adding fuel to the fire, you can be the person who comes in and helps diffuse it and bring people back together again. And another benefit of building higher emotional intelligence is that you're better able to overcome life's challenges. No matter what, no matter how strong we make our emotional intelligence and we release all our excess weight and we regain great health and vitality, we're still going to have challenges in life. That's just part of life. Things are going to come up. But in general, higher emotional intelligence lets us live with more purpose and intention and autonomy in our lives. It just allows us to have more successes and to better overcome the challenges that we all inevitably face in life. So there's 4 big categories of emotional intelligence, and 2 of them are about ourselves and 2 of them are about social skills. And I'm going to talk today about the 2 that are about ourselves because they're the most relevant to weight loss. So first is self-awareness, and we've talked about that some throughout this challenge. And so self-awareness includes knowing what you're feeling and why you're feeling it. You ever have a feeling, you're feeling kind of angsty, you're feeling kind of upset and you don't know why? That's miserable to not know why you feel that. And I've had that before where I have to just stop and say, what am I upset about? What happened today? And maybe I'll reflect back and I'll think, oh yeah, that woman who commented on my size and that I could wear more flattering clothes. I guess that upset me, understandably, and I didn't find a way to deal with it at the time. I kind of ended up stuffing it, and it's kind of stayed around and bothered me all day. And I wonder if that's why I was more short in that meeting, or why I didn't handle this situation as well as I would like. So it's becoming aware of what you're feeling and how it's affecting your thoughts and your behaviors and your actions, right? And then it's self-awareness is having a general awareness of your values and your goals and your motivations. If you had to go into every situation and every decision throughout your life and with a lack of clear goals and motivations and kind of who you are and what you stand for, you wouldn't be as effective in those situations. So that's one of the things that self-awareness brings, is I know who I am, I know what I'm about, and that helps me, navigate the world, navigate the decisions and the situations that I end up in. And another part of self-awareness is knowing your strengths and your limitations. I don't know if you guys have heard of the concept of high sensitivity, highly sensitive people, but it turns out 20% of people in the world and 20% of at least 100 different species of animals, including fish, have this quality of high sensitivity, which is sort of a hyper awareness of what's going on. So like if it's a deer kind of species, there will be the ones who all charge to the field where they're going to graze, and then there will be the ones who see that there's a more nutritious, greener part of the field over here, and they'll go over to that part. So they don't tend to charge in, but they tend to be aware of things and that others aren't aware of, and that gives them certain benefits and it gives certain challenges. And so for a highly sensitive person, or a shy person, one of the things that we realize is that we need a certain amount of time alone and a certain amount of quiet. So sometimes more extroverted people can really thrive on being around other people and being around the energy and the hustle and bustle of a city, etc. The highly sensitive person needs a little bit more time in nature, a little bit more quiet, and needs to know when, boy, I am overstimulated and this is not feeling good and I need to go take myself out of the situation and get a little bit of quiet. So whatever your strengths and limitations are, it's important to know what they are, right? I think by the time we're this age, and most of my clients are over 50, we're starting to get a real good sense. We've had a few experiences with our strengths and our limits, so we kind of know. Let's see, another part of self-awareness is being reflective and open to feedback and open to change and learning from experience. I think that's one of the great things, is where I have a lot of people my age and older who say, boy, I wish I had the wisdom that, now back when I was 20 and had the energy to do something with it. I just, let's just get our energy back, because we don't want to go back to being, 15. We don't really even want to go back to being 25, I don't think. We just want to be able to do a lot of things. But a lot of that wisdom is, I'm really learning from my experience now. And another part of self-awareness is having a sense of humor and perspective about yourself. So, you're not the perfect one in every situation. And when you mess up, you kind of go, nope, sorry about that. That was me, or here I go being triggered by this situation again. Oh, well, I'm going to find a way to make that a little bit less the next time. And the other part of self-awareness is a sense of self-worth, self-confidence, self-assurance. And all of us want that, right? We all really want to go into whatever situations we have to deal with self-confidence and self-assurance, because it really helps us get through things, and it helps it feel better when we're going through things. So can you see how self-awareness can help you with your healthy eating and weight loss journey? Can you see how being aware of your feelings helps? I mean, all of us, I think, have had the situation where we end up eating out of emotionality, out of some kind of emotion, and then end up going, why did I do that? I didn't want to do that. If you've ever been close with someone with really poor self-awareness, you kind of know firsthand how challenging that can make life. Like, if you don't know that your boss made you mad today, and now you're yelling at your wife, and you guys are in this terrible argument, and you're not really sure how you got there, and you don't know how to get out of it, that's a terrible feeling. If that happens to you over and over and over, you feel really out of control of your life, and you feel like kind of a loser, like you're not handling things as well as other people. So self-awareness is really important. And the great thing is, it's a set of skills, so we can really build this. You may have grown up in an environment where self-awareness was really encouraged and really modeled well, and so you've had it pretty good. But we can always keep developing this and strengthening our ability to achieve our goals in life by developing our self-awareness. So we need to be willing to sit with uncomfortable feelings and wonder about them and question them. Like, hey, I'm feeling a little sad and a little defensive. Let's see what might have generated that in me today. So it can be really important to make time for this kind of self-awareness activity, because our thoughts and our feelings drive our behavior. And there's just nothing worse than ending up behaving in a way that you can't make sense of yourself, and you really are kind of embarrassed or ashamed of. So when it comes to emotional eating, you find yourself pigging out on something that you didn't mean to eat, and you certainly didn't mean to eat that much, and you weren't even that hungry, and you're kind of going, what the hell's going on here? And you start to realize, you were stressed out about something. Now, so what happens when we pig out is we get with a lot of things, we a lot of times go for comfort food that releases serotonin in our brain. So that helps actually relieve the stress a little bit that we were feeling. But the thing is, it doesn't help us solve the problem, and it tends to contribute to this long-term issue of overeating and overweight and ill health. So also lots of times we'll end up with a stomach ache and feeling ashamed, and that can lead us to eat even more. So how would things be different in that circumstance if you stop to identify what you were feeling and why? And you insert a little pause. Give yourself a chance to think about what's going on before you reach for craveable food-like substances. So that might go like this. I'm feeling upset. Let me think. What am I upset about? And kind of go back through the day like I talk about with the woman who commented on my size. And when you identify something that upset you, talk it through with yourself. And, like you would with a friend, acknowledge, yeah, that upset me. That didn't feel good. I guess that's been bothering me all day. And, just raise your self-awareness. Bring it from, it's just, you don't even see it because it's so in your face, to looking at it out here. Let's see. Because that kind of, I didn't even think about that and how much it's been bothering me, really will deplete your willpower and make you exhausted, and will drive you to eat things you don't want to eat. So once you do get an understanding of what's going on inside you, you get more calm, and you don't necessarily feel compelled to act. You have that pause. You get a little distance and perspective, and you can better choose what you want to do. And that's what we're working on these 2 weeks, these 14 days, is to be able to better choose what we want to do. So developing the ability to sit with unpleasant feelings and giving yourself time and space to think about them is very empowering. It gives you a sense of calm and self-confidence and this kind of feeling of, I've got this, I can do this. So this has to do with our ability to control our reactions to emotions. And that's the second big part of emotional intelligence when it comes to the self. And so that's about self-regulation. And the pieces of self-regulation include self-control, being able to delay gratification, like in the, here's one marshmallow and I'll give you another one if you can wait. We all find that we have to delay gratification sometimes. We have to restrain our worst impulses or our quickest or our most, our tempting impulses. And we have to manage our distressing emotions well, lots of times. You can't just go off on somebody at work, or, you don't want to just pop off at your partner because you're upset about something that they did that they do every day, and it's just hit a point for you. So self-control is part of it. Staying composed and positive and unflappable while other people are freaking out around you, or while the situation is getting out of control, that's a part of being able to regulate our emotions. You ever had a time when you really did stay unflappable and calm and felt like, yeah, this is really helping. I'm so glad I'm in a calmer place than other people around me right now. Another part of self-regulation is having initiative and the drive to achieve and the ability to persist at goals and to feel optimistic when things are challenging with a goal. So that's another part of regulating ourselves. We don't just, start something and go, okay, that got hard, I'm gonna quit. Start something else and quit. So to have really good emotional intelligence, we're the kind of people who start something, persist, stay optimistic, keep going, tweak what we're doing, work to achieve our goals. And another part of self-regulation is being conscientious and responsible for living up to your commitments and your promises and doing good work, doing quality work. And so we make better decisions with a calmer, more self-aware, more self-regulated mind. And we can get better life outcomes when we more often use this thinking system. So rather than our automatic, I'm just going to act thinking system, we're more often using our controlled or deliberate thinking system. We're going to talk more about that tomorrow, about how we're often of two minds and how you can start to reconcile these two minds. We sometimes think of it as the angel on this shoulder telling us to do the right thing and the devil on this shoulder telling us to do the wrong thing. There's a lot of ways that we can think of those two minds, but there really is something dual going on inside of us. And when we learn to balance those and have them work better together, that can really benefit our healthy eating and weight loss journey. So let's see. So emotional intelligence involves skills, and we can always build skills. And it's pretty obvious how these kind of skills can help our healthy eating and weight loss, I think. So can you think about how you can better tap into your emotional intelligence and become more self-aware and self-regulated when it comes to healthy eating? So I want to propose, and for those of you who have joined the challenge and who are getting the emails, I'm going to send this to you in an email, this recommendation about some action you can take this week to build your strength, your emotional intelligence. I'm going to group these qualities I just talked about. I just talked about 10 qualities. I'm going to group them into 5 groups. And I'm going to invite you to identify one group of these qualities that you're going to work on over the next week, even in a micro goal kind of way. You're just going to work on strengthening the skills in that area. And the first is just being more emotionally present, being more where you are, aware of what's going on, noticing what you're thinking, noticing what you're feeling, and recognizing the connections between your feelings and your thoughts and your actions. This is it's really fundamental, and we can never feel like we've got that handled. We can always get a little bit better at that, and it can make a big difference. Excuse me, I have a drink of water. I keep swallowing. Okay, the second quality that you could work on is your sense of humor and perspective and self-confidence and composure. Like, I'm just going to go through this week, and anytime I feel a little bit upset, I'm going to work on perspective. I'm going to work on humor. I'm going to work on composure. Think how fun that would be, right? Just no matter what comes up this week, you might have to every morning remind yourself, this is what I'm working on, or even keep a little index card in your wallet or your purse to remind you. Sense of humor, perspective, composure. The third one is impulse control and delay of gratification. Sometimes, like I know in AA, I've had friends and family who have said, they get you they get you making your bed every day, just so you can see that you're the kind of person who starts the day kind of organized, kind of structured. So little micro goals like that can help you. I'm not sure I can explain why that helps with impulse control and delay of gratification. But the other thing you can do is whatever things you tend to reach for that you feel tempted by, is just give yourself a 30-second pause, just distract yourself, or do the 2 minutes on the stove and run and jump around the house, something to distract yourself and insert a pause when you really want to delay gratification on something. It's building a muscle. That ability to pause before you act is building a muscle, and it's a really, really valuable skill. Okay, the fourth quality that you could work on is initiative, goal setting, drive to achieve, optimism, and persistence in a goal. And so if you don't have any goals you're working on right now, maybe it's time to set a goal to figure out, okay, I know I've been wanting to change this, and let's just do it this week. Let's just start somewhere. And let's get clear. Let's break it down into steps, and let's work at being optimistic that if I do this step, then I can do that step, and that if I just keep doing the steps, I will get to the goal. A lot of times that's the issue. I'd say most of the time that we don't achieve our goals, it's because we gave up. It's not because our approach wasn't working. It's that maybe we tried to leap 10 steps, in one step. So we have, but that's part of achieving goals, is figuring out, okay, I tried to go too fast there, but if I break this step down into 6 more, then I'll be able to do the next one for sure. So you keep looking for a step that you can do, and then setting the next step. And the fifth quality that you could work on in your emotional intelligence this week is your growth orientation. Being more aware of your strengths and limitations, being more adaptable and more able to take in feedback and use it to learn and grow, being more comfortable with challenges coming up, because that's part of growth orientation. You're working on something that you're learning Spanish, and you hit kind of a roadblock, like present participle. I can't get it. It's really hard. So a growth orientation is to say, okay, that's a challenge. It's not going to be as easy to overcome this one, but it doesn't mean that I can't. I'm going to keep working at this one. So that's part of a growth orientation. So think about which one of these you'd like to work on over the next week to strengthen your emotional intelligence, because every little bit more emotional intelligence you get makes you better able to achieve your goals in life, including healthy eating and releasing the excess weight and regaining your health and vitality. So I'll send you an email with a copy of this video, and I will remind you of those 5 and encourage you to pick one of those. Now, I do want to mention this one magic pill that will help you strengthen your emotional intelligence, and I'm sure you're excited to hear there's a magic pill. It's great. You take it once a day, and it's free of charge. It's all natural. It has no side effects. It reduces your anxiety, and it increases your contentment in life. You experience greater composure and self-confidence. This is a good pill, right? And it helps strengthen your emotional intelligence, your ability to insert a pause before you act, and it even improves your memory. And if you already have this pill, you know what I'm talking about. The magic pill is meditation, and it's been used for hundreds of years, and it feels really simple. And if you've tried it before, you might have found, well, that's kind of harder than I would think it would be. Since it's just about focusing your attention on something. You can also use prayer. Focus your attention on God or your higher power, or what you're trying to achieve, and how you're trying to change the world or change your life. Or you just focus on something simple and life-affirming, like your breath. And it doesn't have to take too long. If you take 20 minutes with it, when you would have been, I don't know, for me, it could be playing a video game or something that really can be distracting and diverting, but doesn't necessarily really benefit my life in the way that meditation does. but it can be quite difficult at first. And once you get it to be a daily habit, it can really, really help with your healthy eating and weight loss journey. It's learning to quiet your mind and your body. It's developing that muscle of inserting a pause before you act on something that you may regret. So you can substantially reduce the negative thoughts, the mindsets, and limiting beliefs that are grasping at you and causing you to grasp at things that aren't good for you. You can build an affective style that's happier and more constructive. You just go into situations with more calm and more ability to think. And that's just one of our challenges as human beings. The automatic side of us is really fast, and it's been around and evolving for so long. It's really good, and it's fast partly because it's very protective for us, but it also can lead us astray a lot. It's the part of us that's we think of it as the devil part, but I don't think that's a constructive way of thinking about it. But it's the one that causes us to grab something that might be tasty right now, but is going to be defeating to our higher intentions and having the life and the future that we really want. That automatic side is not thinking about the future. It's thinking about now. So we really want to be able to get the part of us that is more rational, more thinking about the future, more informed by the past, can think of the consequences of things. We really want to give that side a chance, that side of us that we think of as us. So a lot more about that tomorrow. I want to ask what you have found that works for you to manage stress and to improve your emotional intelligence. What's something that you've used over the years that's helped strengthen your emotional intelligence and helped you better achieve your intentions in life? And if you're on the live website, on the live stream, please note in the comments, when you develop greater emotional intelligence, you develop greater capacity to be successful with healthy eating and weight loss. And that gives you a big leg up to develop the healthy eating and the healthy weight and the healthy body and the healthy life that you're really wanting and that you really deserve. I think you deserve all those things, right? And I hope that you do. So keep showing up for this challenge to keep moving yourself in that direction. Let me know if you have questions or ideas that we can address. We're on day 8, and so we have 6 more days, but I'd love to be addressing your questions and ideas in here so this challenge really benefits you. If you have friends or family who you think would enjoy this and really get something out of it, it's not too late. It's never too late. They can absolutely join in. They can go to slenderforgood.com/14-day challenge. So let's keep changing mindsets to make healthy eating a happy habit. That will change everything for you. I hope you have a great day. Eat something nutritious, make your body happy, and I hope to see you tomorrow. Love you. Take care.